All right, you Microsoft scholars, we are off on Access Chapter 2 now, and it's Project 2.1. And the first thing we have to do, of course, is to download our file, which I already did. So here we go. I always have to do that. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we've opened it, and we save a new copy of your database as, but it already has our name on it. I don't know why it tells us to do that. And we enable the content if necessary. We're going to click the Table Design button, Create Tab Tables Group, Create Tables Group. To open in Design View, Table Design, and we're going to add new fields into the table and set fields property. So in the field name, we're going to type branch. And hit tab, and then we go to data type, and it wants us to do short text, and in the description we're supposed to write unique branch name, and we're going to click the primary key button. So Table Tools Design tab, so we're on the Design tab, and Tools Group, primary key, and press tab to move to the next field, next row, and add the remaining fields into the table using the information here. So I'm going to pause this and I'll put that in. Now it wants us to save the table as branches, Control S, click in here, Control S, and branches. And OK. Now it says branches up there. Now click the row selector to select the branch field. And we're going to type 30 in field size right here. And a required property is yes, and it's already yes because it is the key. And now we're going to select the address field. And we're going to use they're all required. And this is a field size of 40. And it is required. That's weird. The drop down's all the way over here on the right. There we go. Now the city is 20. And then required, yes. And the state is 2. And it is required. And the zip is 9. And it is required. Yes. And the phone is 10. And required. And the date opened is a medium date for the format. So format, medium date, and it is required. Now we're going to save the table, Control S. Always a good idea. We're going to select the zip field and we're going to put an input mask. So input mask is right here. And we're going to click the build button. Okay, the whole build thing kind of threw me. And so we've got our input mask here. We choose them. Ultimately, it tells us to choose, yes, save the table. Now, there we go. Input mask for zip code. Next. And then if we like that, We hit finish. Okay, next, and then without the symbols in the mask like this, and then finish. Okay, and save the table, Control S. All right, now we're selecting the phone field. Phone. And we're going to click the, we're going to do the input mask again. Click the build button, so input mask. And I guess that's the build button. I didn't call it the build button, but apparently that is what it is. And we're going to select phone number on here. Phone number as the first one on the list. We're going to click the next button and click the other next button without making any changes and without the symbols like this, and finish and save the table. There we go. So we're going to enter records into the branches. So we're going to change to data sheet view of the table. So view, data sheet view, there you go, that's the view like we had before, and we're going to enter these records into it. All right, that's all in there. I'm going to save, and then it wants us to modify the department field in the employees tab. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, double click the employees table. I'm going to click the department field and click on the property box for data type. Oh, we want it in design view. So let's go here and click on design view. There we go. And we're in department and in the data type, property. We are going to click here and go lookup wizard. And I will type the values that I want radio button. There we go. And click next. And the first one we're going to type is administration. Up. Down arrow. Health and benefits. Down arrow. And then we're going to click the next button. And we're going to limit it to the list and click finish and save the table. Okay, and it said if prompted, which we were not. So now we're going to verify the existence of a foreign key and create a one-to-many relationship between branches and employees. The branch field is the field in common across the two tables. It is the primary key in the branches table. Open both tables in design view and verify that branch field has the same data type and field size in both tables. So branch, short text 30 in the branches table. In design view, branch, short text field size of 30. They do have the same. So we're going to save and close any tables we have open. So close, it'll prompt you to save if you have not. And then we're going to click the relationships button, database tools tab, relationships group, database tools, relationships, and the relationships button. And we're selecting and clicking add and employees and add. And then we're going to close. We're adjusting the size of the table so that we can see all the fields. So if you can't see them all, you can make them bigger if you can get your mouse to work just right. Anyway, drag the branch field from the branches table on top of the branch field in the employees table. There we go. Branch to branch. And in the edit it, we want to enforce referential integrity. We want to cascade update related fields. And we're leaving cascade delete not selected because the company doesn't want to delete employees just because they may close the branch. So that enables them to reassign employees. And we're going to click create. Now we have a relationship. And it's the 1 to infinity symbol, which you can't see very well on this computer. So we want to save changes. So Control S. And close. Open the employees table in the datasheet view, which it is, and put the table to test, the new drop-down list. So open the branches table in datasheet view, adjust the width, employees. So we have, look at this, see that beautiful little drop down list? That's what we just created, and that's what it was telling us to test. So there we go. We can change their department quite easily. So now I'm moving on with instruction 13. And it says to adjust the widths of the field so that the entire field contents show for each one. So if I just like Excel, if I click right here on the intersection, it highlights everything. And then I hover over the intersection and double click. And it should have worked, and it looks like it did, just like it does in Excel, that automatically made everything fit the contents of the largest cell. So we can adjust the widths of the fields, click the plus sign to the left of the branch field for Cameron Park, and you should see 11 assign branches. That's the one it wanted us to do that for. There we go. So if I click the plus sign there, you'll see that it shows 11 employees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. To Cameron Park. Actually, I don't see 11 employees to Cameron Park. Click the minus sign to close it. We are going to preview the data records in the branches table before printing. We click the print button to display the printing options. Print button, printing options, click print preview. Print preview. There is our print preview. We want to click the landscape button. And it should look similar to that, which it does look similar to that. I'm going to save and close the branches table and close the database. So Control S and close everything. Yes, I want to save changes. And submit. And that says 1101. That says 1101. I'm going to submit that one. Yes, submit the file. All right, this says I got an 88. I only got 3 out of 4. And it says that I got 0 out of 1 in editing the description property of the branch field. In the table to read branch assigned to must match a branch in the branches table. Did not edit that. I must have missed that instruction because when I go back and forth from typing to click on to look at the instructions, it's really easy for me to miss. And I got that 0 out of 1. Oh, it says that I didn't test it, but I did. Oh, and enter the record into table 221 to test the drop-down list. So it's again, that is one that I just missed. So enter the following record. Did not enter that record into it. Again, I'm going through, taking my hands off of the book where I'm following the instructions, and then onto the keyboard to type. So those are really simple things. Good luck. This was not too bad.